This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Show number 2. Yes, sir. Love it, love it, love it. And there we go. I love this billboard here, too. Sports Grill, little breast cancer awareness month. Yes, sir. Nice job by you. Nice job by our friends at Sports Grill. Yes, sir. Love it. I love that Parmesan chicken sandwich there at Sports Grill. Anyway, well, interesting day today for me, obviously. What a goofball I am. What an idiot I am. I got to tell you, bro. I just muscle memory, right? You ever done things just out of muscle memory? You don't even realize it, but it's something you do every day and it goes automatically, right? You ever done that? You drive to work every day. Sometimes you can be doing and thinking and talking or whatever, but you're just kind of like getting somewhere. You're doing something, right? Or you're around the house and you might be on the phone or doing something and you're doing other things. You're whatever. And it's just something that you do all the time and it's just muscle memory. So I told you that I would be at Tua's press conference today. And I was headed there, okay? I did 2 shows specifically for this. I could have just done one show, not gone to a press conference and kind of react, which was what I'm going to end up doing now. So it's hilarious. I mean, it's hilarious. It's wacky. And, I'm an idiot. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? It happens. We're all goofballs. All of us. We're all going to do stupid things at times. So I get in my car. I say, okay, we're wrapped up. I'm headed out. Boom. I'm driving, right? And I talked to 3 different people on the way. So I went from one phone call to another, right? Got some Metallica in the background. And so I'm driving. And then I'm looking at my watch. I'm going, man, Tua talks, at 11:50, I think it was set for early. At the beginning, it was set for 11:50. It went off at 12:05. We'll get to that story. And so then I'm going, damn, I'm almost there. And when I look and I realize, I go, man, I'm going to cut it really close. And it took me so long to get there. Do you know why it took me so long to get there? because I was on freaking 595 about to get off on University Drive, which I just did that yesterday on my way to Canesware. But I was going to the old Dolphin facility. Muscle memory of 20 years going to Davie and going to Davie and going to Davie. So Turnpike 75, 595, get off. It's just like, muscle memory. But I'm just supposed to stay on the Turnpike, not get off ever until I get to 27th Avenue. Embarrassing. Terrible. So there you go. And so it all kind of works out because I was going to go back to Davie anyway. When I was done with the press conference, I was going to drive up to Davie. Why? Because yesterday when I was in Davie at Canesware, I forgot to get our prizes to give away at walk-ons on Saturdays because we're giving away Canesware gift certificates at walk-ons, but you got to be there at walk-ons to win the Perdomo prizes, to win the Canesware prizes, to try, Edge energy drink, all those kind of things, win some prizes and giveaways. So I had to go there anyway. So I picked that stuff up. And then Sean tells me, hey, they delayed it to 12:05. So I start getting racing down there, right? And there was no way. Too much traffic. Tua starts already. And I wasn't going to walk into the middle of the press conference and all that. So I was done. What can I tell you? I'm a human being. I do stupid things, and I did a stupid thing today. Muscle memory, right? Muscle memory, right? I bet you there are things that's happened to you in your life that you did it out of muscle memory, and it was just one of those things that you're like, wait, no, this is not it. No. I drove to my old job. No, I don't work here anymore. I work, the other place. I bet that's happened to some people. I bet that they, talking, whatever in the morning, oh, dude, I don't work here anymore. I me back out. I got to go somewhere else. I bet that's happened to people, right? Little muscle memory stories. Oh, God. Let's see. Joe Shad scared away Big O from the press conference. Yes. Big O, make sure you go to the Hard Rock. Well, of course I'm going for the Greta concert, not for the gambling. Oh, someone did ask Tua about getting rid of the ball. Yes. Daniel Oyefusi from the Miami Herald did ask the question. So let's address it. Bring it up there, Sean Stanley, master of all domains, the man that runs this platform. He will bring it up. What is it? What's the hand signal say? I don't know what the hand signals mean.
As soon as I hit it, it's going to play.
Okay. All right. So here is Tua Tagovailoa. Daniel Oyefusi, I will give him the credit, the love. I can tell by the voice that it was Daniel that asked him about getting rid of the football. And here is Tua Tagovailoa's answer.
I mean, for me, I've always been a person to try to make something happen. That's always been my mindset, if you will. And throwing the ball away hasn't been something that I've done in the past really well, because I'm trying to make plays. And so, just learning from that, if it's not there, it's okay to throw it away. It's the longevity of, me just being able to be the quarterback for this team and, not try to make something out of, nothing. Plays will come to us, and that's kind of what, our mantra for our offense is.
Okay, so he answered it, and he, I would have liked more context, and that's why I wanted to go to kind of like add the brutality of the question a little bit more. But he kind of gave Daniel the same answer he probably would have given me, and saying all the right things, but you got to do it, man. The next thing is do it. You know, the part that I don't think people realize about this young man, again, one, he's tough as hell, obviously. And if you listen to that press conference, oh, were you concerned and all that? And he goes, no, that's my parents that are concerned. He's the guy that wants to play last week. He's the guy that they have to keep away from the field last week. But the problem is the rules, the optics, all of that kept him off the field. If not, Tua plays last week. Guaranteed he plays last week. He was ready to play last week. But the optics, you had the news, everybody all over it. So the Dolphins had to do, had to calm down through the optics of all of this. But this kid is not afraid of any of this stuff. How can you be afraid when you dislocated your hip and you had to go through the rehab and then you're back in it at the highest level? Think about that. You busted your hip up in college. You repaired it to go to the NFL. Let me explain that again. You busted your hip in college to then repair it to go to the NFL, to then go ahead and take a pounding. You obviously are not afraid of anything. You're not afraid of injury. And that part, that's where he needs a little bit more humble. But what more humble do you get than blowing out your two ankles, and then you've got to then repair them with Kevlar wire? What more do you want when you blow out your hip, which puts your entire career at risk? You repair it, you come back, and then now you get severely concussed. Because I don't blame him for the broken ribs. I blame Jesse Davis because he's just mediocre. I can't blame him for the thumb. I can't blame him for Milano being dirty. Those are things that are going to come with the territory. You know what I'm saying? But notice those things didn't knock him out of the game. You know what I mean? Well, the ribs did, but he was able to come back and play. Would have come back a little sooner if Flo allowed him. But my point is that you still were able to, bounce back from all that. But the other stuff, those were long-term injuries. And that's what he's got to avoid. So he says all the right things, but look, it's what's obvious what's going on with Tua? Here's what's obvious what's going on with Tua and what people won't tell you. Okay? But here's what's going on with Tua. He's constantly trying to tell F you to the people that say he doesn't have an arm. He's constantly trying to say F you to the people that say he's too short. He's constantly trying to say F you to the people that say he's not durable enough. He's constantly trying to say F you to the people that say he doesn't work hard enough. He's constantly trying to say F you to the people that think he's not a good captain. Or he didn't want to be captain, which, you know how stupid you feel now when you found out Flo's system of, you got to politic to be captain and stand up there and say why I should be captain, like some kind of, class president or something like that. Stupid shit. But he ends up carrying the burden. And so since he's got to carry the burden, and because it gets magnified for him, you can tell that this is what he's fighting. He's not just fighting NFL defenders. He's not just trying to figure out defensive backs. He's also trying to fight all the negativity of media and fans that are constantly telling him that he can't do something that he's convinced that he can do. And so he will try to hang on to a play. He will try to come back faster from an injury. He will try to complete a first down. He will run a guy over like he did was it last year when he put his shoulder into a guy? Like, and then he's like, oh, I didn't realize what I was. And that's who he is, because that's the competitor in him. The competitor in him would have easily played last week. Easily. Shh, don't tell nobody. Okay? Easily would have played last week. So that is what's going on. It's so obvious that here's a young man that's not just motivated to be great, but he's motivated to shut a lot of people up. And he fights that. And this is what happens. He gets in trouble because of this kind of stuff. He puts his body at risk. He puts himself in an injury type of situation because he refuses to give up. Give up on a play, give up on a series, give up on a game, give up on a teammate, give up on his coaches, give up. That's not his style. You know, and unfortunately, at times, he reminds me a lot of my Yorkie, Ziggy, who's the smallest dog in the house, but is the bravest, toughest, and he thinks he's the baddest one in the world. Okay? When, one of my big dogs can just like, bam, and, slam him right against the wall if they wanted to, but they kind of laugh at him when he's like barking and all that, and they're like, yeah, kid, whatever, sure, that kind of stuff. You know how it is if you have dogs. They're like, and they let him be the meanie that he thinks he is, and they're like laughing at him, that kind of stuff. So he's that guy, but he has to understand that he has a Yorkie body. Okay, he doesn't have the Cam Newton, Ben Roethlisberger built design body that can withstand some punishment. But he thinks like a Yorkie. The Yorkie is fearless. Anybody that owns one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're not afraid of a goddamn thing. Okay? You have a Yorkie walking on the street, and there's a 180-pound dog coming his way, and I swear to you, you need to hold the Yorkie back. You better pick him up. Why? Because he's just going to get himself dead. And he won't know any better. And in a way, that's kind of what I put it, akin to a person that is just willing to not give up. And Tua will not give up. And so he goes to an extreme that he puts himself at risk. And thanks to a bunch of you idiots out there that are constantly talking shit out of both ends, you're kind of the motivating factor to why he puts himself at risk. And there needs to, it's funny because his dad's a hard ass and he hasn't reached him. Saban's a hard ass and he hasn't reached him. Flo was an ignorant ass and he never even reached him. But this guy is completely different than his dad and different than Saban. And so it'll be interesting to see if Mike McDaniel with his style can actually reach where his dad and Saban haven't been able to go. Saban openly talked about it several years ago, that's his one problem. He's got to let go of plays. He wants to hang on because that's the warrior in him. And I get some of you out there, oh, yeah, Big O talks about him like he's some tough guy, warrior. And I mean, because you're size queens, right? We're back to Justin Herbert. Because if I say warrior, you have to look like The Rock. You've got to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? You've got to look like actually Conan the Barbarian, right? If I say that, you can't be a warrior and be a small person. That doesn't exist in size queens. Because, size queens only think quarterbacks come in one shape, one size. That's it. So for you size queens, when I say warrior, you have a problem understanding what I'm actually talking about. Because warrior has nothing to do with size. It has everything to do with heart. And if you don't think Carrie Strug, right, I think was her name, if that isn't the ultimate example of a warrior, I don't know what is. I have no idea. Don't have to be 6'5" and 245 and chiseled. Warriors come in all shapes and sizes, just like quarterbacks. I don't know if you guys know, some of you, I don't know if you know that, but that's the case. So that warrior is not going to give up. But we will find out if Mike McDaniel can build the bridge that Tua's father could not build and that Saban could not build. And so far, I mean, Tua has to see the love he gets from the locker room. You know what I mean? Obviously, what he has from his family. And now he has a wife, which I'm sure eventually they're going to have their own family. That's like, money in the bank. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Be just a little smarter back there. That's all. Just a little smarter. Fran Tarkenton had a hell of a career. And so did Bob Greasy, and so did Joe Montana, and so did Drew Brees. Guys like you can have a great career. But there's no such thing as a guy like you that plays like Cam Newton. Doesn't exist. The physical part of it does not allow it. So that's the part he's gotta let go of the Yorkie in him. That's what I would say. There is a video of Kenny Pickett throwing at practice today. How is this possible with the new concussion protocols? I need someone in the national media to explain. I don't know, my brother. I don't know if are you watching a video that's actually really today or what, or I don't know. I don't know. And by the way, Richard,
But
I don't really care. Yes.
The thing was, as long as they went through the protocols right, they could practice on Thursday, which is what happened with Teddy, even though his wasn't a concussion.
Well, but this is Wednesday.
Yeah, okay. Well, I know maybe they're off on Thursday or something. I don't know. Maybe they're practicing.
No. League wide, it's Tuesday. That's what it is. Yeah. League wide, it's Tuesday.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
I'll go back to my class.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Again, bro, fans say stuff and then there's no proof behind anything that they're saying or whatever. And it's not legit, or they get fooled by some fake account or a video that really isn't accurate and it's not really of today or whatever. And it's a week ago or 2 weeks ago and they're pawning it off like today. So nobody really knows, dude. So sorry, I just never really take anybody's word for it until I actually see it myself from a legitimate source. Tony says, my 20-pound Jack Russell is the same way. He thinks he weighs 60 pounds. That's why I don't get another bigger dog. Well, you can get a bigger dog as long as the bigger dog is cool. Like, like he understands or she understands. Like my big dog, both of the big dogs. I mean, Bono's a sweetheart. Unless he doesn't know you. Bono, wow. Bono is, I've never had a Carolina dog in my life. They are the sweetest things that like nothing tops, I think, a golden retriever. This is the dog that comes closest to a golden retriever. Okay. That's how just one of the sweetest dogs you will ever own is a Carolina dog. And Bono is like he's amazing. Like he's amazing with all the other dogs. He's amazing with us. But the second somebody approaches the house or somebody that he doesn't know at all, oh my God, I've never seen that kind of a change. I've never seen that. That's like golden retrievers are very hard to even get mad. So they're cool with everybody, strangers, everybody, you know what I mean? And so Bono's like these Carolina dogs, they're like very good with the people that take care of them, right? And then after that, all hell breaks loose. Like he don't want to know anything about anybody strange. Like the growling starts, and it's like, whoa, wow, holy crap, that kind of stuff. But my big girl, who is, I tell you, meaner than a skunk with rabies, for outsiders. But she's great inside the house with all the other, and especially with Ziggy. Ziggy becomes an idiot, and she laughs at it. It doesn't bother her, Ziggy's barking or whatever. Not that Ziggy bites or anything, because Ziggy's not that stupid. But she doesn't do anything to him, which is cool. So as long as you have breeds that can get along with other dogs, even if they're bigger, is my point, you're all right. You got to watch out with certain breeds that aren't good with other dogs. That's what you've got to be careful with. And I don't know, by the way, if your dog is, I don't know much about those dogs with other dogs. Maybe your dog is not good with other dogs. So that'll be the thing. Black labs are right there, right? Labs are right there with golden retrievers, from what I'm told. I've never had a lab myself, but everybody that I know that has owned a lab swears by labs, like up and down, So yeah, I've heard the same thing with labs. Who is stronger, a Yorkie or a poodle? No, the poodles are stronger because they're bigger, but the Yorkie is the most fearless dog I've ever seen in my life. Fearless to the point of stupidity. Okay? It's like, you're not defending anything, dude. You can bark all you want. You're not going to affect anything in the world, but you go ahead and think you are. Go for it. My dogs drive me nuts, LOL. Yay or nay on German Shepherds for the first time? Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I love German Shepherds. They're great dogs. I've had a couple German Shepherds in my existence, and I love them. Definitely. German Shepherds are great dogs, great house dogs, great protection. They're fantastic dogs. Yep. Let's see. My black lab dog is great with other dogs, but now that she's older, she hates puppies. LOL. Really? Well, puppies can be annoying, right? Because they want to play all the time. So if they don't have somebody to play with, they'll bother the older dog, and then the older dog's like, "Yo, man, I just want to chill, bro. Leave me alone." That kind of stuff. So I get it. I get it. That's funny. That is funny. All right. What else do we have? By the way, Kader Kohu, return to practice today. Keon Crossan will be reevaluated later on in the week. Waddle with the shoulder injury did not practice today, but the coach says he's optimistic that he'll play. He didn't put it in stone, but listen, if one thing we've learned about McDaniel, he's going to be as positive as he can. Right from the get, always. So if he can paint that picture, that's what he's going to do. Skyler with the hand injury, not as serious as they first thought. So they think he'll be back sooner than later, but no timetable. So we don't know what the sooner is. And I think this is smart too. You know why? This happens to coaches all the time in every sport. And it's our fault because we want a timetable, fans, media. Well, how long? How long? And then they go, well, around 2 weeks. And then if it's not 2 weeks, then we kill them because it took 3 or 4. So you don't put a timetable on it, and that way you're always covered. The Byron Jones. Oh, yeah, no, we thought it. And then, yeah, you get killed for that. Now you got the delays, And we're 6 weeks into the season, no Byron Jones. Here comes game 7 for the Dolphins, no Byron Jones. But wait a minute, you said he would be ready you were optimistic and all that. And so you're better off not even putting a timetable on it. You really are. Armstead, toe, Ogba back, did not practice. Wilkins, Trey Flowers, and Melvin Ingram, all veteran rest. Austin Jackson, who may play this week, did not play, or did not practice, that is, today. So that's some of the stuff that went on in Dolphin practice today with some of the injuries, since they've got several. Ricardo Kuchikian, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says, Dear O, greetings from Argentina. The more I watch Tua play, the more I like the QB, the more I hear him talk, the more I like the person. If he manages to stay healthy, we have found the best face for our Dolphins. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. 100%. This is the guy you want representing your franchise. You want to know one of the things that pisses me off, about all of this stuff with Tua. And, he's not sociable. And, you read the Barry Jackson article. We talked about it this morning. You can go back and listen to it to the morning show. But it's narratives, right? That he's not sociable and all this kind of stuff. And he's not a leader and all that. And all of it is a lie. And, when Omar said weirdo, remember that? Let me translate for you what weirdo means and who Omar talked to in the locker room. Are you ready for me? Tua's a weirdo if you're asking him, hey, let's go to the club and pick up some hoes. Yeah, no, that's not my thing. Hey, come on over to the house. Let's have let's play some video games. Come on, let's go bowling. Let's go to a restaurant. What? Hey, Tua, me and a couple of fellas, we're gonna go to the strip club. We're gonna go make it rain. We're gonna get a couple lap dances. Come on, no. See what I'm saying? So just because he doesn't want to go get fucked up with you, just because he doesn't want to go pick up some skank, just because he doesn't want to go and whatever it is, dude, get drunk, get high, whatever players do on their off time, he's a weirdo. No, that's just not what he does. So he gets labeled that he's odd. He's not odd. He's normal. Just he doesn't do certain things. Okay? Sean and I go on the road. Sean, you want to go with me to the Metallica concert? No. You want to go with me to the Morrissey concert? No. He's not going to a concert. He's going to stay in the room, whatever. Hey, Sean, you want to go eat? Let's go. Doesn't make him weird because he doesn't want to go to a concert. Doesn't make me weird if he was going to a WWE event in Vegas or wherever we were going. So because Tua doesn't socialize the way you socialize, others would call him weird or not normal. No, dude, he's not going with you to the frat party. Oh, no, but there's going to be a whole bunch of chicks. You're the quarterback, dude. We can all get laid. Not his style. Doesn't make him weird. But narratives develop because you got a group of guys in every locker room that are going to be completely different than Tua, completely different than Cal Ripken, completely different than Tony Gwynn, completely different than, some of these guys that don't do those kind of things. They're kind of straight and narrow. Doesn't make them weird. Okay? They're actually the normal people. We're the idiots that party. We're the idiots that put ourselves at risk. We're the idiots that make the bad decisions. There's a reason why the Tim Tebows, the Russell Wilsons, the Cal Ripkins, the Derek Jeters, the Tua Tagovailoas, there's a reason why they never get in any kind of trouble. And they're all not going to make it rain in a strip club. So they're not a bunch of weirdos. Okay? We're the weirdos that make it rain in a strip club. Yeah, I'm going to fall in that group. I'm not going to I'm not. I could never be those other guys. I can tell you that. Even though I'm not really making it rain in the strip club, but I'm liable to go with the people to make it rain in the strip club and sit back and enjoy it at least. You know, Tua won't even do that. He's normal. I'm not. I'm abnormal. Or as in Young Frankenstein, Abby normal. Oh, dating myself there. Lost so many of you. Just this is how narratives develop. I'm telling you. And you know, this whole thing, I remember as I like to always have fun with Beasley's expense, Adam Beasley, when I had a back and forth with him about, oh, dude, he's sociable. You just don't have the information, but he was sociable in Alabama. But it's just, you know, certain people. And he carries himself differently. Tim Tebow wasn't going to go with you to go screw around. That wasn't his style either. Oh, speaking of Beasley, remember how I tell you on this show, we're not about sensationalism. We're not here to, you know, go out and try to get clicks or views and try to create stuff to piss you off and troll you and all that kind of stuff. I don't do that. Okay? I'm not interested in any of that kind of stuff. All right? We will talk sports and we'll shock you with real sports information and insight and things like that. And that's how we'll shock you. Okay? While everybody's going for the concussion bullshit, we're telling you what the real problem is with Tua, right? And then when I tell you that people, whether it's baseless or any of these other fools on television, that they're just trolling you, I'll give you an example. All right? Let me show you Adam Beasley's tweet where trolling you, okay? Tua on facing Brian Flores. I think it'll be cool going up against the guys he's coaching on their side. He definitely knows what I like and what I don't like. And then he just leaves it like that. So doesn't give you the complete context of the answer. Right? You want to know what the rest of that answer is? But then again, schematically, this is Mike's offense. This isn't the same offense that I was running the past 2 years when he was here. Why didn't he include that? Did you see what Tua said? Tua said that, you know, Flores knows what he likes to do. You see, he's already nervous about Flores. But you leave out the rest of the quote. But, you know, hey, let's get likes. Let's get retweets. Let's stir it up. Because that's what we want to do. We want to stir it up. You know, the truth. No. Why would we want to put the truthful answer of Tua? No. No. Let's not do that. Let's put the answer that makes him look like he's capitulating already to Brian Flores. Way to go. Way to go. That's how the game's played. Because they think you guys are suckers. And so since a lot of you are suckers and you fall for it hook, line, and sinker, there you go. Now, two guys are at the water cooler. Yeah, you see that? Tua's such a softie. He already knows that Flo knows what he wants to do. Meanwhile, before all this, I sliced up a guy on Twitter this morning. Like, dude, relax. Flo doesn't know anything. This is a completely different offense. Talent has changed, and he's not the defensive coordinator. So get the hell out of here. Oh, Flo's going to really go after Tua. Yeah. Oh, don't you think that he's going to have a lot of input? Put in what, dude? What? What's he going to have input? He doesn't even know how to use Tua. This is how you use Tua, not the way he used them. So how would he know? Yes. There you go. Anyway. Flo doesn't call the defense, plays the dudes. So why is this even a concern? Well, you should see some of the people out there. You know? They think Flo's like running the entire defense. We told you what Flo is. Okay? I think we told you what Flo is. Flo is Ernie. Okay? Ernie from Scarface. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, what's it called? Go check out Scarface and the Lopez scene. Or the earlier show. We explain it there. Your story of going back to the old complex made me laugh out loud. Oh, old people problems. Hilarious. Yep. That is true. It is old people problems. There's no doubt in my mind. Hey, Sean, can you send an invite to Matt? I don't know if I sent Verderame an invite. Not exactly sure if I did or not. So, just in case, we will have Matt Verderame, by the way, joining us here in the 4 o'clock hour. Or at 4 p.m., Matt Verderame will be joining us with our redrecover.com my NFL report, the huddle, actually. You got a job, Meng. I missed the last exit once in San Ysidro, California after working 12 hours and had to drive into Tijuana and wait 4 hours in traffic to get back into the USA. You gotta be kidding me. There's no way to get out of that? Wow. That's a hell of a story. That's when you feel, like, you know when you feel like shit? You're on the highway, you didn't have Waze on or something, you didn't get any whatever, and you're a couple of exits away from where you're gonna get off, like 4 or 5 exits. And all of a sudden you pass one, and the next there's a crash and it's all backed up. And it takes you like 45 minutes to finally get to your exit, and you're like, shit, if I could have gotten off on that last exit. That kind of stuff. Yeah. Tough. Muscle memory, man. Not an easy thing. Definitely not. It'll mess with you. That's for sure. Anyway. All right. 855-912-1056 on the Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056. By the way, Alarmo protects our home, protects Sean's home. 1-800-ALARM-ME. And right now, folks, we are giving away a free doorbell camera. And all you got to do is be the first 40 Big O listeners right now. 1-800-ALARM-ME. And you're going to love this doorbell camera because it allows you to control everything. You can watch it from your smartphone. So if you're showering or you're in the bathroom, you can tell somebody, hey, just leave the package there. If you're driving in from the street and you ordered something so it can be there by the time you get there and they get there before you do, you could tell a person, hey, leave it there. If your hands are full, you can actually go on your phone and disarm your alarm. So that way you don't have to juggle everything else. The keys, open the door, then turn off the alarm before it goes off. Convenience. And the keypad, a moron like me can use it. Anyone can use it. What I love about the installers, they're also very patient. So they will show you how to work it, which is super easy. If any hasn't happened to me yet, and we've had ours for about a year now, but if any of the sensors ever go out, some alarms out there, you can't turn them on because there's a sensor that's off. Well, you can actually disable it on the keypad and then still set the alarm until Slomin's comes in to repair the sensor. It's really amazing. And now the first 40 Big O listeners will get a free doorbell camera. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. And when you use our professional installation and our low-cost central station monitoring, we're going to give you an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. 1-800-ALARM-ME. All right. Let's do it. Let's step into the huddle with Matt Verderame.
Let's huddle up with Fanside National NFL reporter Matt Verderame. The huddle is brought to you by RedRecover.com. RedRecover.com's wraps and pads are designed to deliver maximum benefits with each treatment anywhere you go. Go to RedRecover.com to learn more about Red Light with videos, blog posts, and over 40 years of medical research to treat pain, inflammation, and overall well-being. Here's NFL reporter Matt Verderame.
There he is. How you feeling, my brother? You feeling good?
I am. How are you?
Very good. We got Tua back now, bro. So, hopefully we can get some normalcy here, and hopefully the kid takes care of his body and gets rid of the football. So we'll see if things get back to normal in our world. But in your world, by the way, I got to tell you something. I thought the Chiefs defense did a pretty good job defensively overall in that Bills game.
Yeah.
That kind of maybe sets it up for the future. Because if you're the Chiefs, okay, so you're disappointed with the result, but I think down the line you got to feel like, dude, we're right there. We can hang with these guys and we can beat them. You know what I'm saying? So I thought for Chiefs fans, it's not all disappointing after that defeat.
I talked to people around the team after the game, and I think a lot of people inside Kansas City are feeling pretty good, quite honestly, because I think there's kind of a thought of, hey, look, they'll love to win the game and didn't get that done, but this is really a brand new team in a lot of ways for them. I think sometimes nationally there's this thought of like, well, it's Mahomes, it's Kelsey, and it's Reed, and so it's always the same, but really the offense is totally rebuilt. Defensively, they've got a lot of young guys. And
that mistake, it's not going to happen. He's not going to do that again.
I think that's kind of the general. It's like, how many times is he going to throw a pick in the red zone and then a pick at the end of the like if that's how you're going to lose, I think the Chiefs would rather lose because the offense was a little sluggish than because the defense gave up 40 points.
Well, hey, Waddle this week against Minnesota.
Right, fumbling the ball.
He basically lost the game for them. And how many times is he going to have those two brain farts? Come on.
Right. So I think, from my perspective, the Chiefs, I thought, I won't say should have won the game, but could have won the game all afternoon. And yes. Really had the game on their racket a few times in the fourth quarter and just couldn't close. But, look, they'll get back Trent McDuffie. They'll get back Willie Gay. They'll get back Brian Cook. They'll get back Rashad. Those are 4 guys, 3 starters, another guy who plays starter snaps who weren't in the game. If the Chiefs' biggest problem was Mahomes throwing a pick or two, I think if you're the Chiefs, you feel pretty good about what might happen down the line.
Right. Yeah. Because, again, you just said it, new offense. They're only going to get better as the season goes on because they'll get the chemistry with all the players. You know what I'm saying? So,
and maybe Odell Beckham, which seems to be something that they're interested in.
Yeah, but not that crazy ass contract he's talking about. I'm sorry. He wants, I I forgot what contract he was pointing to in that
They're
report.
not giving him a crazy contract.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
You have to be a really bad team that is so desperate for a star to come to your town. You know, you're the Carolina Panthers, or you're some team like that is desperate to kind of raise their star or something. I can see you paying stupid money, but the Chiefs don't need to pay stupid money to that guy. That's a risk that dude, he's not durable.
Well, if you're the Chiefs, look, you're sitting there going, okay, how do we lose that game to the Bills? Well, lost that game because the Bills, who normally play a ton of zone defense, got into man coverage in a lot of snaps because they're not afraid of your receivers. Now, Smith-Schuster had a really good game, had over 100 yards, had a touchdown. Kelsey was Kelsey, did what he always does. You need another guy. MVS is a good player, but he's not that guy. Hardman, the same thing. You need another guy. Well, if you had Odell Beckham, now it's a lot harder to just sit there and play man coverage against you. Now it becomes, even with Tre'Davious White back, okay, that's fine. But now you've got two of those three guys, Juju and Kelsey as well, that you're not guarding one-on-one. So
actually, that'll be the best thing that'll happen to Juju is having Kelsey and OBJ.
It'll open up everything for him.
Exactly.
And he's on pace for over 1,000 yards. Like, he's actually played really well for them. It doesn't feel like it because early in the year he was kind of sluggish. But I know I can even say that last year the Chiefs were in on Odell Beckham. I know from talking to people they were trying to sign him, they couldn't get it done. I always kind of figured you go back to the Rams. But now with the way the Rams are playing, like if you're Odell Beckham, do you want to go back to the Rams? Plus, he feels like he got lowballed. If not there, I mean, Buffalo's interesting, but if you go to Buffalo, you're the third receiver on the team. So, there's a lot of – if you go to the Chiefs, you're the number one receiver, and you have Mahomes. Yeah. So, it's interesting.
Yeah. And again, you got a chance to win it all. You know what I'm saying? The Rams, I don't know if they're going to win it all. The way they're playing right now, I don't know. The way I'm looking at that team. All right, so talk to me. What do you think happens in this whole Dan Snyder thing? Is he going to go after now? What is it? Pro Football Talk saying, well, he might be going after ESPN and all, because of the lawsuit, all that stuff. You got Jerry Jones and Kraft fighting in the owners' meetings about Goodell's contract. You got Irsay, who's like, yo, everybody knows all my dirty laundry, so come after me. Go ahead. Come on, Snyder. Everybody knows my shit. Let's go. Bring it on. This is, I got to tell you, this is the reality show of all reality shows. Somebody should pay the rights for that one.
You know what? I'll tell you. It wouldn't have been on my bingo card, but Jim Irsay being the reason that Snyder might get booted out of the league might come to pass because, a lot of times that first guy over the hill, he gets bloodied, but he ends up being a big part of the reason the battle's won. Well, Jim Irsay was the first owner who publicly was like, yeah, you know what? He's a problem. And I don't care what anybody else says. And, that's going to give other guys courage to go, yeah, he is a problem. Right. I'm with him. Right. Like, it's always like that old thing, like when you're a school kid and the first kid to raise their hand in class, and then everybody else gets a little more courage to raise their hand in class. And by the 10th person that does it, everybody's putting their hand up. Well, Irsay being the first guy to be like, yeah, you know what? I got a problem with him. I'm not good with him. And there's a reason we should boot him out of here. You're now going to have more owners who are going to go, okay, yeah, sure. I'm on board. If Jim's on board.
Can I bring it full circle again?
Go ahead.
It would help. And I know you're going to agree with me on this. It's not going to happen because they're very smart in all of this. And they're so royalty above most all of this stuff. But the Hunt family is the one that would be like the nail in the effing coffin. You know what I'm saying? Not Mark Davis, not Jerry Jones, not some of these owners that are kind of also caricatures. But if the Rooneys, the Hunts,
the Maras,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, the Maras, Hunt, Rooney's, Maras, absolutely. Who just say, look, enough of this shit, basically. I mean, just say,
that's
look,
the sledgehammer. That's the sledgehammer right there.
I mean, Jerry wields a lot of power, but those other owners, those families have owned these teams for, I mean, in some cases, literally almost a century. Like you're dealing with.
But you respect Jerry because of his, not that you respect him, but you at least respect the the business,
Yes,
he's savvy, but the Maras and the Rooneys and the Hunts, you respect them for the way they have carried themselves at an immaculate level for half a century. You know what I'm saying? It's a different kind of respect, if you know what I'm saying.
It is. And at some point too here, like, look, I get it. These owners don't want to boot them out, because then it makes it easier to boot them out at some point in time if something happens. And I honestly think the guys like Jones and Mara and Laurie, they don't want him out because he's in the division and it's the easiest 2 wins in the world. I mean, keep him there. Let him be there. Helps our team, right? Helps our brand.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But at some point here, for the betterment of the league, he needs to go. Like, just straight up, he needs to go. Right? Like, now it's not apples to apples. The NBA essentially forced Donald Sterling to sell that team. Now that became such a huge
Robert Sarver now.
Right. Yes.
Well,
Robert
and remember, we had Marge Schott, which is all different. But here's the thing. Here's what needs to happen. We talked about this earlier with Rappaport, and we could go back to the Dodgers husband and wife and their dirty divorce. The fans and the sponsors have to react, and the players. When players start saying, I'm not playing for Washington. When sponsors start saying, I'm not buying ads for you. The fans are already saying, I'm not buying tickets.
I was going to say, the fans are there.
Yeah, the fans are already there.
Yeah.
But they get mad at me at times, and you know it because you're in the business. What people don't realize with fans out there, the tickets don't mean shit, dude.
No,
the money they get from tickets that has no power whatsoever.
Extra money.
Yeah, it's what we have in the ashtray.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the owners. The ashtray is the regular seats. That's nothing money for them. Suites, sponsors, TV money. Yep. That's the big stuff that affects the hell out of them.
I'll tell you one thing that nobody's talking about, although Ian would certainly be plugged into this, so maybe he brought up the fact that they're having a hard time because of the government now getting a new stadium. That is a big problem for Dan Snyder, because that is big money. That is suites. That is more advertising. That's all stuff you're talking about. That is the ability to upsell everything. And if you can't get a new building because the government, the local governments over there, state's government, they don't want to play ball with you.
Oh, no, yeah.
I mean, and they won't. I mean, if anybody's been following that, the state governments have basically told him to take a hike. Okay. When that starts happening, you got a big problem, because now the other thing that happened in the offseason that got reported was that he was basically skimming off the top, these other owners. If they find out he took 8 cents, they will boot him out of the league. Yeah. That is now you're starting to get to, he might be taken from owners. He can't get a deal done because he's so toxic in the Maryland, Virginia area. That is where owners don't care if the guy is a bad person. They don't care, because to them, whatever. It's not my problem. I don't have to deal with it, so on and so forth. Jerry Richardson got pressured out of the league. Jerry Richardson was...
But they had the dirt. They had the dirt on him. And I don't know why they have the dirt on this guy, but they don't want to reveal it or something.
I also think, too, Jerry Richardson was an old man at that point, and it was very easy to just go, Jerry, look, why don't you just move on? And they were able to kind of push that. Dan Snyder's not an old man. Like, Dan Snyder, by owner standards, is still pretty young. So what do? I am of the opinion at some point here, this thing is a powder keg and it's going to explode. And I got to tell you, the NFL can sit there all day long and maybe privately worry about, what dirt he has. This is the National Football League. If they want to force him out, they're going to do it. This idea that they've got to try to play politics with him, you don't think the NFL's got dirt on him that they could use to sully him for the rest of time? Yeah. I mean, if the NFL really wanted to, it would go to war with him and it would win. But it's just a matter of how long it takes for that to happen.
It's a shame, man, because that was a royal franchise in our league.
One of the best. Kent Cook and Joe Gibbs and winning Super Bowls. I mean, look, I lived in Virginia for 2 years when I was a kid. And you couldn't find a more rabid fan base than at the time the Washington Redskins. I mean, you couldn't get a ticket. And they weren't even that good. I mean, we're talking the mid-'90s. Like, they were okay. The Stephen Davis era, Gus Frerotte, whatever. But it was right after they'd won their Super Bowls. Every single kid that I went to school with, that I was friends with, every single one of them was a Washington fan. Every one of them. Their families were. Everybody wore the stuff to the game. I mean, it was actually funny because being a Chiefs fan, the colors were pretty similar as a kid.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people wouldn't even give you crap because they wouldn't notice the difference.
Right.
But now, I mean, it's sad. It's sad. I mean, look, I'm a Knicks fan, okay? I get what it is to be a great organization, to go straight to hell. You reach a point as a fan where you don't care anymore. And that is the worst thing you can have if you're a league. You can have angry fans. You can't have fans that don't care because they don't pay.
Yeah, that's our Marlins. That's
Right.
how we are in this town with the Marlins. We just do not care. The Dolphins have not done anything for 20 years, but it's not from a lack of trying. So that keeps your hope going because they keep, we bring Saban. Oh, we bring Parcells. Oh, we bring Jimmy Johnson. Oh, we bring Ricky Williams. Oh, so they keep trying and trying and trying. They've done it all wrong, although I think now is when they're doing it right. But it's different. At least when you're trying, it's, you keep the hope going when you like the Marlins. My God, you're not even trying.
No, what's the point? You're a farm system.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. All right. So now now that Tua's coming back 24 days later after that hit on Sunday night, as a outsider now that you have watched the entire league.
Yep.
How far has is this too extreme-ish now? Are you afraid that it's going to cost someone a game, a playoff position, a team, something if they pull the trigger too quickly? Look, example, Teddy Bridgewater. They have yet to show any video whatsoever that shows any ataxia whatsoever in Teddy Bridgewater, and yet they held him out for a couple of weeks. So where do you find this rule now? I know we're trying to appease the optics of the whole deal, but where do you see this? Is it too extreme?
I think you have to find the best way to ensure player safety without jeopardizing the integrity of the game. And when you start yanking guys off the field and you don't really know if they're concussed, and then you're like, look, not only are they out, but they're probably out the following week, that becomes an issue. Like and by the way, the Players Association probably won't say it publicly. The Players Association is going to feel that way behind closed doors. Like, yeah, we want our guys to be safe. You're going to have guys who are like, look, man, I want to play. And if I'm not concussed, what are we doing? Right. I'm missing games. They're getting paid, but it's still, you're missing games. I think you need to make sure that a situation like what happened with, or what appeared to have happened with Tua, doesn't happen again. That just cannot happen. And I understand why the league was almost overcorrective in its action. At the same point, I also fear what's going to happen is, remember, I don't remember what year it was off the top of my head, but a couple of years ago, the league instituted that rule of, hey, look, if you lower your crown to make a tackle or you lower your head as a back, there's going to be a penalty. And in the preseason, there was a million of them, like flags everywhere. And then the season started and you never saw a penalty again. That just went away. I think that's what's going to happen once we get into these bigger games, we get into the playoffs. I mean, you're going to tell me that if Josh Allen gets hit and he gets up and takes a half wrong step, they're yanking him out of the game? There is no way. No, look, I remember.
I want to see them pull a Mahomes.
They're not going.
Rodgers and an Allen. I mean, and a Brady from a game. I want to see that.
I remember a couple of years ago when the Chiefs played Cleveland in a playoff game, and Mahomes got knocked out of the game. He was ruled out with a concussion, and the next day the Chiefs were like, he didn't have a concussion. He had this nerve thing where he got put in a chokehold, and whatever. By Wednesday. They didn't wait till Saturday. By Wednesday, they're like, he's playing. It was just like there was no doubt. He was going to be out on the field. Look, if you watch the game with Chiefs and the Bills on Sunday, Travis Kelce early in the game tried to catch pass in the end zone, landed on his back, and slammed his head into the turf. And he got up really slow, and he didn't wobble, but it looked clearly like it hurt pretty good.
Right.
He was back in one play later. They didn't even check him out. I mean, he slammed his head on the turf, and he's had
this is where we walk that fine line, bro. Because in boxing matches and in 7 counts, how many concussions have been in 7 counts, bro?
My God, 7.
And they shake it off and they come back and win the fight.
Well, I don't know how much of a boxing fan you are, but I
Big.
okay, right. So if you ever look back at like the old school fights, there's one fight, late 70s, maybe 1980, with Joe Frazier and Foreman, where Foreman must knock him down 5 times in like 4 rounds. And he just keeps getting up, and then he knocks him down again. He gets up again, and it's just over and over, and he's good. I mean, and then on the flip side of that, there are the Tyson fights in the mid to late 80s where he just knocks you out in 5 seconds and the fight's over. Right? That guy would have gone down without even getting hit. He just wanted to get the hell out of there and get a check. But I mean, no, it's crazy to look back, even in the NFL. I mean, when I was a kid in the 90s, like there was a playoff game with the Giants and the Vikings where Jim McMahon gets knocked out 3 times and just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
And nobody, like, to John Madden's credit in the game, if you watch the broadcast, he actually talked about, like, they probably ought to really put him on the sideline now. But there was no outcry. It was like, well, he's good enough to go. And I don't think that's the right way to go about it.
Oh, there's only an outcry because it's the NFL. Because
Correct.
we don't give a shit about boxers, and we don't give a shit about
100%.
MMA
100%.
fighters,
Yes.
and we don't give a shit about firemen running into burning buildings. You know, there's a crap ton of, we don't care about miners down in the mine breathing all that crap for years. We don't care about a lot of things, bro. We don't care about surfers. What do you think happens when a surfer screws up in a wave that's 40 feet in the air? And as you all know, if the wave's 40 feet in there, there's no water in the bottom. And then he falls with that wave. What do you think happens? I mean, you know, come on, man.
No, look, the sports now are more visible than they ever were. Every game is essentially on national television because everybody can see it, right? Everybody's got Sunday ticket. Everybody can see every game. And look, I think it's great that player safety's come as far as it has, but there's no question. Like, let's be honest about this. The NFL is doing all this player safety stuff to protect one thing, the shield. That's what they're doing it for. I mean, I don't want to say that they don't care about the players, but I would go as far to say they care a hell of a lot more about the league than they do about the players themselves, because the players are going to come and go. The owners don't go anywhere. The commissioner doesn't go anywhere. Goodell's going to be the commissioner probably for 30, 40 years by the time he retires, right? I mean, so you look at it and just go, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, baseball, right? Like, not that many injuries. Okay, you can get away with it. How many times on basketball do you see a guy and it's like he's banged up, and now it's gone the other way in basketball. Now we have a maintenance day every other game, and guys are taking 20 games off because they're tired, and people complain about that because it's gone too far. I think in football you need player safety because of how violent it is, but you also need common sense, and they've got to find the middle ground there.
Yeah, True Fin Fan says Foreman knocked down Frazier 7 times the first fight.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
First fight. Go ahead. What?
It was unbelievable. If you ever watched it was like 1979 or 1980, and he knocks Frazier down like literally almost every other time he hits him. It just keeps getting up, like, and nobody talks throughout the fight like, man, he's really stopped this thing. It's just like, yeah, he's all right. He got up.
Right, because that's what you were getting up, being the tough guy is right. What was the thing, and so that's what you respected, the guy that could get back up off the mat after taking a beating and then come back and actually even win the fight sometimes. Yeah. That's there you go. Eric says it was actually 6. Well, 5, 6, 7, whatever, bro.
No matter what it was a lot.
He was concussed in most of them probably throughout that. That's why, we always would talk about what they were punch drunk, and it's CTE actually is what it is. It's not that they're punch drunk. It's actually CTE. And that's kind of, you look at Holyfield, go look at Holyfield doing interviews back in the late 80s, early 90s. Look at his voice and everything, and then look at him now, and you'll see the difference, what the beating does. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, tell them about Stacking the Box, my man.
Stacking the Box podcast, the YouTube page, you can check it out either just on audio on anywhere you can find your podcast, or on the YouTube page. Goes up new episodes every Tuesday and Sunday. Tuesday is live at noon Eastern, as is Sunday, going right into the games. So you can check it out and subscribe and like and ask questions in the chat. Do whatever you'd like, and then also On FanSided, a lot of content. Stack the Box, the column goes up every Monday morning, covers the whole league. Got the power rankings on Tuesday, quarterback rankings today on Wednesday, and then picks on Thursday, along with some features throughout the week. I just wrote about how the Jets and Giants are finally making New York relevant. And here, fun fact I'll leave you guys with. They have shared pro football for 62 years now since the Jets came into existence in the AFL. Only one time have both the franchises at least gone to the divisional round in the same year, 1986.
Wow.
It's the only time. And they've only shared the playoffs 5 times, ever. It has been a long time since either one of them has been any good. And now, both of them together, it's as rare as hen's teeth in the NFL.
Well, you got to blame more the Jets because they're the ones that are never there.
Yes,
so
the Jets have been more of the problem. Yes.
Right. They've been more of the problem.
But lately, they've both been a problem.
Yeah, lately they've both have been terrible, but
yes,
overall,
the Jets, historically speaking, yes.
Oh my God, yes, yeah, they haven't kept up with it. Yeah, all right. Follow him on Twitter at Matt Verderame, and make sure you subscribe to Stack in the Box and listen to that podcast. Matt, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Hey, thanks a lot. Take care. We go.
You got it. We step out of the huddle.
This has been The Huddle with NFL reporter Matt Verderame. RedRecover.com helps pros and everyday warriors heal on the go with their medical-grade, highly specialized devices designed for each area of the body. Go to RedRecover.com to learn more about red light with videos, blog posts, and over 40 years of medical research to treat pain, inflammation, and overall well-being.
Hey, there we are. And of course, Edge Energy Drink gives you the edge. Right there, baby. Come on out Saturday at Walk-Ons in Kendall on 162nd and Kendall Drive. We're going to have Edge Energy Drink. You're going to love the lovely lady that's there going to be serving. The Edge Girl. She brings the edge. I'm telling you. Wait till you see the young lady representing Edge. But no, we're going to have taste testing out there, so you can come on out and taste and then order if you want a little Edge Energy Drink. myedgedrink.com. 78 calories, by the way. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Can't beat that. Yes, that's the combination. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. That is awesome. All right, what else do we have going on in the world of sports? Tua talk today. Gave you the news. We got Flyers and Panthers at 7:30. We got the Heat back in action. Game time tonight, 7:30. Taking on the Bulls. What else do we have going on? You can also reach out to us on the Welt and Rayom text line if you have any questions at 855-912-1056. Big O, Bulls, Zach LaVine is out versus the Heat. Well, then, I mean, I like the Heat anyway, tonight with or without Zach, but that'll make it a little easier, I think. And less entertaining, too, because Zach LaVine is obviously a fun person to watch play. Let's see what else. Gotti probably fought concussed like easily, bro. Gotti was he was in some classics, dude. Guarantee you Flo will be having input, not because he knows, but outside of our circle, people around the league think Flo should know. What does that mean? You know they have a defensive coordinator, right? Flo is a linebackers coach. Sure, they'll ask him some questions, but this whole thing that you think Flo's going to have this monster input and all. Brother, he's just happy to have a job. He's just lucky to have a job. It's a miracle he has a job. No one else is going to hire him. So that was, that was a bone that they threw to the guy. He buried himself in that league already. This league plays with you on the PR side, like they're doing with the concussion stuff. And this stuff here too. So I don't know. I think you worry a little too much about something that really isn't legit. Big O Tua had a flawless press conference. He answered everything perfectly, and there weren't many, if any, stupid questions asked. Tua, baby, here comes the wins for us again. It is good to have him back. God, it feels like now now you feel good going into a game. Like, okay, you can win this one. Without him, it's a mission to do anything whatsoever, and that's the part that sucks. All right, 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, that's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. Well, when sports and business collide, we like to do something called the KSDT Sports Business Report. And CBS hitting it big. They had a weekend that was just amazing. Alabama and Tennessee, the Bills and Kansas City, back-to-back games, Saturday and Sunday. And they also, the network's regional coverage of the Ravens-Giants game on Sunday. CBS totaled an average of 50.4 million viewers. Bills 24-20 win over the Chiefs, most watched in week 6 in 15 years. The late afternoon telecast, 25,407, up 7% to comparable games during that window, and 43% from the two primetime matchups last year. Giants, well, obviously they're playing well. So the regional coverage of the Giants' comeback win over the Ravens, 13.4 million viewers, up 7% from last year. The week 2 broadcast of the Cowboys and the Bengals, 27.3 million, remains the most watched NFL game so far this season. Week 2, Cowboys Bengals, 27 million. It's amazing, right? That the Cowboys draw so much and they do nothing. Like it's a clown show. So Jerry knows how to put lipstick on a pig, and people will just look at a pig with lipstick, because that's kind of what the Cowboys have been for many, many years now. Anyway, the Tennessee win over Alabama was the most watched college football game on any network season to date on TV. The game averaged 11.5 million viewers, up 145% from besting last season's Texas-Alabama game, which was 10.6 million. And as the game reached its finish, Tennessee and Alabama viewership peaked at 17 million. It was the most watched regular season game on CBS since Alabama LSU, 16.7 million back in 2019. And this is why they get so much money when it comes to all the rights, because these companies know that they're going to have a boatload of people watching, because everybody absolutely loves football. It's a drug for us. It's amazing. Really is. All right, KSDT, by the way, they've got 3 great offices in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. More than just doing your taxes, whether it's personal or business, they do all kinds. They can help you with your current business, from payroll to planning to preventing losses, all kinds of stuff, health insurance. They can set you up in so many ways. Reach out to the people at KSDT CPA so you can run your business at a much better level. And guess what? You probably will end up with more profits. That's actually pretty cool. You end up streamlining everything and making more money and being really effective. KSDT CPAs have many ways to help your business grow and make you a little extra money.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
Hey, don't forget, tomorrow we're going to be at Hialeah Park. We'll be out there in the afternoon from 3 to 6, okay? Next week, we're going to do it on Wednesday, not on Thursday. Thursday, we're going to do a morning show. Next Thursday, I have something very important. It's called Iron Maiden. And by the way, I am going to the Metallica concert next month. Cannot wait. All they're going to do is play Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All. They're only playing 83 and 84 because they're honoring a couple of former members. So it's a special concert next month at the Hard Rock, and I'm in. Can't wait to see that, dude. That is going to be just a hellacious freaking show. I don't know who's going to that Metallica concert, but you're going to see something. I mean, Ride the Lightning for me is my favorite album. So it's actually cool that you would imagine that they're going to do both albums in their entirety. I mean, they normally do about that many songs, maybe a couple more. So they're easily going to handle both. So you'll get to hear all of Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning if you're going to that concert. It's going to be an expensive concert. So Tuesday, I'll be at the Hard Rock for Greta Van Fleet next Tuesday. Thursday, we'll be in Tampa for Iron Maiden. Anybody going to Tampa up in Iron Maiden, or you're in Tampa area for the Iron Maiden concert? We'll see you up there. Make sure you reach out to me on DM on Twitter, because that's what I usually do. Check my Twitter DM if I'm going to a concert, and we can meet, have a drink, talk some crap, have some fun. But tomorrow we'll be there at Hialeah Park, having some fun. Let's see. Hopefully they can pan to Flores. They will. Guaranteed. We need to give Skyler half the reps with the starters if his hand is okay. No. Tua needs his reps. Tua get the reps and move on. Okay. Backups are backups. They'll get a couple of reps. Not much. You go with Tua. What Tua needs to do is get rid of the ball when the play is dead. Just do that. You know how excited I'm going to get if he actually does that this week? On Sunday night, when we're doing the post-game show, I'll be very excited if he does that a couple times. I'll be like, all right, kid. Live to pass the next play of the next series, please. I'll be, yeah. As I said earlier, let's see if Mike can do what his dad and Saban have not been able to do. One of you said it a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about this, and I agree with you. The wife. The wife has to sit down with him and say, honey, come on. You can't take these hits. That's who I should find. I should go talk to the wife. All right, Mrs. Tua, do you know that your husband injured this ankle at 3.89 seconds and that ankle at 4.55 seconds? And the concussion was over 5 seconds and the hip was over 5 seconds. Can you tell your husband to get rid of the football so he doesn't take these hits? You don't want him injured, right? No. There we go. We got to get to the wife. We got to give her the information. Tua will freak out when she starts throwing those numbers. She'll go, He'll go, did you talk to O? Is that what you did? Everybody in the building's watching that show. Did you talk to O? By the way, they are watching this show in the building. What can I tell you? You know, that's what I hear. I hear they are closely monitoring this show. Hi, Miami Dolphins. Welcome aboard. We love you. Win a Super Bowl. Win 10. 10. This year and the next 9 after that. Okay? Let's do that. Yes, Big O, the wife is the key. I'm telling you, we got to get to Mrs. Tua. That's it. Mrs. Tua got to tell Mr. Tua. Papo, take it easy. That's it. Jamie says, Big O, my mom would have told me, stop taking those guys, or all of the living Jesus out of your. Hello, what? Stop taking those hits, or all but living Jesus out of you, or something. Is it rephrase? Oh, hits. Okay. Stop taking all those hits and the living Jesus out of you. Okay, I got you now. Got you. The Big O Show will soon be a proud sponsor of the Miami Dolphins. I had a dream about it. Dude, we give the Dolphins plenty of pub. Okay? The Dolphins should love us. This is what they should do. As much as we talk Dolphins on this show, shit. So, at least Ross could do is hit up your super. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right, Stephen Ross. That's the least you can do. Send us a super chat or a Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. You know, drop a couple 100,000. Let's take the show to another level. Drop $1 million. We'll build an entire station. If Tua haters haven't realized how valuable he is to our team, they'll have a better idea Sunday night. Fins up. Bro, at this point, if you're a Dolphins fan and you're still hating on that kid, I don't need to know you anymore, bro. Like, I'm done with you. Like, you're really not a Dolphins fan. You're not. At this point, if you're not behind Tua, you're not a Dolphins fan. I'm sorry. How do you not want the best talent you've had at that position since Marino? What you saw the first 3 weeks, you haven't seen from any quarterback that isn't named Dan Marino. And then he leaves, and you see the amazing drop-off that there is after that guy. By now, if you're not, look, you can be afraid of the durability. You can be nervous about that. But outside of the durability issue, okay, outside of that, just pure football, every Dolphin fan on the planet should be so freaking happy that he's back. I'm tired. I'm tired of Cleo Lemon. I'm tired of Chad Pennington put together with Scotch tape. I'm tired of Chad Henne. I'm tired of John Beck. I'm tired of all these guys, bro. You name it. Ray Lucas and Jay Cutler and all these guys that just weren't good enough. Ever. None of them were good enough. Ray Lucas, one of my favorite people I've had to deal with. But he wasn't good enough. Ryan Tannehill, great kid. Fantastic young man. Never had the makeup of a real quarterback. Ever. Ryan Fitzpatrick, sure, he was fun. You can have him every day of the week and twice on Sundays. In the end, you knew you weren't going to win shit with him. Gus Frerotte. I could just go on and on. I'm tired of it, bro. Tired of it. And after all of this, you're going to hate on this kid? Get the hell out of here. So, anyway, Ross, we await Cash App or Venmo. Don't go super chat, because then YouTube gets 30% there, Ross. You're going to give us a big donation. So, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. We get 100% of it. We don't need to give YouTube any more money. There, Stephen Ross. Okay? So, bring it on over. We'll build it up even bigger, which is a beautiful thing. All right. I think it is time. It is time for us to fly, as REO Speedwagon would say. We appreciate Matt Verderame for joining us. We thank all of you out there, as always, for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m., same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.